Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back. This is the second part of my subscriber question and answer video. In the first part, we answered the most common questions. Now, today, I'm going to start knocking out as many of these motherfuckers as I can. I'm expecting this video to be about an hour long, and my energy is definitely going to dwindle by the end of that. So just sit back, you know, watch other stuff, play a game, listen. In the background of this video, you are going to be seeing some Diablo 3 with, and I don't know. We'll probably play one of the Monster Cat album mixes in the back. So expecting this video to be about an hour long. We are going to start with the people that replied directly to my comment because that's the easiest thing to do. Okay, I got a fast one. What made you start this channel? I'm not going to say any usernames because I will likely say them all incorrectly. I am slightly dyslexic, so, you know, we have to deal with that. What made me start this channel? I had another channel before. It had about 1,000 subscribers, which back in the day when that channel was relevant was actually not that bad. The reason I started this one, though, is because I had a lot of copyright content on the older channel. I just used, you know, whatever music I wanted to use. I just basically did whatever I felt like over on that channel. But when I heard about YouTube partnership years and years and years ago, I knew I wanted that. I knew that's what I wanted to do. So in order to accomplish that, rather than deleting all of the videos on that channel, which I did delete some, so basically what happened was I applied for partnership. I was turned down because I had copyright content. So I was like, cool, I'll just delete all the videos with copyright content in it. I reapplied. It took them about 9 months to get back to me, and then they said no again. And I was like, well, fuck it, I'll just make a new channel. So that's pretty much why I made this one. And then it slowly grew over time and slowly grew over time. Then I got partnered with TGN, and then I continued to grow over time. And then in the past year, my channel's kind of blown up a little bit, and it feels good. I like it. So I think I gave you more of an answer to that question than you were expecting. What is my rig setup? I said all of my hardware in the previous video, so if you want to go back and watch that, you can hear what current hardware I have on my computer, or just go to my Twitch page and it's under the video. It's under the stream. But what software do I use for capture? I use Fraps to capture all of my PC footage, all of it. And I've used various different capture cards for consoles. I just bought a Elgato HD60, and it's been working really well. I don't want to jinx it, but that's what I'm using for consoles, and I like it. I haven't had any sync issues with it. I haven't had any codec issues with Adobe Premiere, so it's good. Things are going really well with the Elgato. How is my genitalia? It's perfectly great in every way. Are you going to get a PS4? Yes, I already did. That's how we're. Keep in mind, some of these questions are like 3 weeks old now, because my bad. But yes, I got a PS4. I have Infamous Last Light for it. I have the new Diablo Reaper of Souls for consoles. I have The Last of Us Last Light. Isn't it? Infamous Last Light. Yeah, that's the first one. Diablo, Last of Us, and I just got Destiny. So that's what we're... Alright, we also play both of this year's Assassin's Creed titles. I'm mostly going to focus on Unity, I think. Probably. Because last-gen titles don't really interest me much anymore, if I'm totally honest. And you know damn well if Assassin's Creed games come to the PC, they're going to be unoptimized. At least any last-gen titles that come to PC are going to be very unoptimized. What games are you waiting for the most that will come at the end of 2014? Is Halo this year? Halo 5 isn't this year, is it? I'm looking forward to the Master Chief Collection, which is all of the Halos redone. I'm looking forward to Borderlands 2, the pre-sequel, which is coming... Okay, it's coming out in a month. I just looked at the date and I was like, shit, did that come out today? It comes out October 14th. That comes out. I'm not too caught up on release dates, honestly, which is a shame. I really should be, but those are the first two that came to mind. I'm sure there's more. Far Cry 4 looks awesome. Can't wait to play that. Shadow of Mordor looks pretty fucking sweet. There's a lot of games I'm looking forward to. Really no surprises there. What does your new YouTube name came from? I answered that in the first video. It came from the World of Warcraft, to summarize. Before I make this comment, I just want to say I am recently new to the Pally Bros, so don't be hating on my question that has most likely been asked before. Where did you get the idea for your channel name? I already answered that. Also, when you said, can we make sure not all of the questions have to do with my genitalia, that'd be great. I started to die of laughter. So the reason, that's mostly just a reoccurring joke. The first time I did one of these subscriber question and answers, like 4 people asked how big my dick was. And this was back when I only had like, what, 2,000 subscribers or something. So it was a high percentage of the questions that were about my genitalia. So I just kind of bring it back up as a reoccurring joke, just in case you guys were curious for whatever reason. If you could have any job, what would you do? I would do what I'm doing right now for a lot more money. That would be great. If I could just do that, that would be excellent. What was the top 3 best games you've ever played? So, best games at the time when I was playing them, which is what I'm going to say. We're not going to look back on them because gaming has come a long way. For instance, first game off the top of my head that I loved at the time, EverQuest Online Adventures. This isn't on my list, but this is an example. EverQuest Online Adventures was the first MMO I had ever played. I played it for 3 or 4 years. This was on the PlayStation 2, and loved that game. Fucking amazing. Until I looked back on it and realized the only thing I fucking did was stand still and press the same 3 buttons over and over while grinding for XP for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. So looking back on it with perspective from playing better MMOs, EverQuest Online Adventures is a piece of shit. But it was my first MMO and I loved it. So that's the mentality I'm going to be approaching this list with. Top 3 games, Majora's Mask, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I still look back on that game and think it was the best Zelda that I've played. Granted, I haven't played all of them. Another one, I don't know the name of it, but there's an X-Men game for the Sega Genesis where you could play like all the fucking X-Men characters. It had Psylocke in it, it had Gambit in it, I think it had Gambit. It had Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Wolverine, and they all played differently. Like Wolverine could climb on walls with his claws, and Nightcrawler could climb on walls, or Nightcrawler could just teleport through shit. I fucking loved that game. That game was amazing. My dad and I would just sit around and play that all the time when I was a kid. I remember one time I stayed up past my bedtime when I was in like elementary school, and I was just sitting in the hallway like peeking around the corner watching him play that game because I just loved that game so much. And then my mom came down the hall and yelled at me because I was up past my bedtime. And the last one, Halo 3, for sure. I was a competitive Halo 3 player, and I spent so many uncountable hours on that game that it has to be on the list for sure. What's my real name? Well, Sir Lord Motherfucking Pallytime, Esquire the Third, Gem Master Extraordinaire, Slayer of Demons, Lover of Cute Things, I am Groot. Duh. Or you can go with Walter. It's a lot easier to say, probably. What inspired me to start YouTube? Back in the day when I was playing World of Warcraft, I just wanted to share my experiences. A lot of my videos were just showing what I did in a week. And kind of putting music to them and making like a highlight montage of what I did in a particular week. And when I joined a guild and we started doing these raids to progress our character, I would do montages of our boss fights and stuff. And that's pretty much where I started, and it grew from there. Do you want to play Bloodborne? A lot of people ask this. Yes, I want to play Bloodborne. I want to play Bloodborne. I do. And then he continued to ask, how big is my dick? How long is my dick? It is long enough, sir. Don't worry. I want to put your concerns at rest. Don't worry. Can you taste food because you can't smell things? Yes, I can. Do you love me? In a platonic way, yes. Opinions on patches. He is the scourge of the earth! Fuck that guy! Favorite color? Purple. More like a violet kind of purple. What's your real name? Walter. Pally, where is the Watch Dogs playthrough? I also liked the video because of the number. No one was watching Watch Dogs, and it was a very good example of a game that was overhyped, and I thought I would be enjoying it a lot more. And it turns out I wasn't enjoying that much, and considering it was getting 1,000 views and I have 34,000 subscribers, that was a sign that video or that series should probably be cut. Now, if I was enjoying the game a lot, I would have continued it, but since I've stopped the series, I haven't even thought about that game. So pretty much it ended because of a lack of interest on both the majority of the viewers' side and my side. Will I snuggle with you? Well, it's kind of hard to do long distance snuggles, but I'm gonna give it the best damn the best damn attempt I can right now. Did you feel it? I embraced you in my man arms. Do you think Blizzard is going to change these unlock ability things on Here's the Storm? So you're talking about the talent gating. I hope they fucking change it. They've already adjusted it a little bit. They made it so that when you're gaining XP for the first 4 levels, that the XP happens a lot faster. But I hate the idea of talent gating in general. I think it's a piece of crap. And why are there no Heroes of the Storm videos on TGN anymore? TGN has been going through a growth period. We just had a big rebranding and relaunch, which is very exciting and one of the main reasons I've been so damn busy. But, excuse me, with that relaunch, Squadron is coming back. So Squadron episodes are going to be airing once a week on TGN, and we're going to play other games. We're going to play games other than Heroes of the Storm, but Heroes of the Storm is also going to be a very prominent feature on the channel for at least the foreseeable future. Do you watch anime? Not as much anymore. I used to be huge into Full Metal Alchemist. I'm sure some other people asked me what my favorite anime was. Full Metal Alchemist for sure. I've watched that series 3 or 4 times from start to finish. Both the Brotherhood version and the other one that aired on Cartoon Network. Really, really, really good. What is my favorite animal? Rhinos. Probably. I really like rhinos for some reason. Rhinos and little baby chickens. Oh, little baby chicks. How did you come up with your channel name? I've already explained that in the other video. And how did you meet Ruicon? Well, Ruicon used to work for TGN back in the day. He was a senior director, same as myself. And we used to make videos for the channel. And, you know, we didn't really talk that much until I started playing Dark Souls. And I was like, you know what, man? You got me super into Dark Souls. And then we started talking about Dark Souls all the time and ended up doing co-op together. And we became pretty good friends. He's a pretty cool guy. He has to be right about everything all the time. He's very opinionated. And Ruicon is either so fucking passionate about something that he will cut your throat off if you disagree with him, or he just doesn't give a shit. It's very interesting to see the extremes of Ruicon. But yeah, that's how I met him. How am I personally doing? Well, I can't lose weight to save my fucking ass right now, which is an interesting way to present that answer. But other than that, I'm doing really well. Emotionally, I'm doing good. Physically, I'm doing pretty good. I can swim a mile at a time now. I am pushing more weight when I work out than I ever have before when I lift weights. So I'm doing pretty good. I'm just busy as shit, man. You guys have no idea how busy I am on a daily basis. I think part of the problem with that is I work from home, so I never stop working, but, you know, whatever. Can you give a video tour around your house? If not, can you at least show us your gaming room? I've thought about doing that in the past. The only problem is there's really nothing interesting about my room. I mean, I have a computer here, and I have a shelf of things, but I've posted pictures of the shelf of things before. So I just don't think the video would be very interesting, if I'm honest. Pally, will you play League with me? Probably not. I have literally no desire to play League of Legends. It's just, seriously, guys, once you try Heroes of the Storm, it's so much better. It's just so much better. Who is the girl in your vacation photos? That's motherfucker girlfriend time. Motherfucking girlfriend time. Yeah. That's what we're going with. How's your life changed since you started doing YouTube professionally? Well, I used to work for minimum wage. A little bit more than minimum wage at my family's business, and I hated it. But I mean, how's my life changed is kind of a loaded question. I used to be really sick all the time. I've had six sinus surgeries and a brain surgery. So I would pretty much work exactly enough to pay my bills, because it's a family business and I could just kind of go it whenever I wanted to. I'd work exactly enough to pay my bills and then stay at home and sleep and work on YouTube videos. Like, that's all I would do. Even when I wasn't getting paid for doing YouTube videos. But since then, take into consideration I've been doing this for 8 years now. But since then I've gotten a lot better. Still have headaches, still have days where I don't feel like doing anything. But absolutely, the second part of that question is, has it changed for better or worse? Absolutely, it changed for better. Abso-fucking-lutely, it changed for better. Physical labor is shit. My family own a butcher shop / meat market thing, so yeah, that was fun. That was fun to work in. Yo, motherfucker! Just wondering if you thought or are planning on doing co-op games with some more famous gamer YouTubers like, say, Cryotic. I feel like it would be a good way for you to receive a more bigger amount of subscribers that you deserve. I don't know who that is. So the odds of me doing things with them is pretty slim. I will say I plan on doing more co-op with Ruicon. We are talking about the next Dark Souls 2 co-op. We have a pretty funny idea, I think. It's just finding the time to do it on both of our ends. That is a little bit difficult at the moment. But co-op is something I definitely want to do more on my channel. I don't know, maybe one of these days we could talk Force into playing Hatsumi and getting me on the mic. I know he likes to do things by himself. We'll see. We'll see. Question. Oh, you have the upside down question marks. It's fancy. What is your favorite color and why? Violet, because it is. There you go. Why is anyone's favorite color their favorite color? Because it appeals to their eyeballs. What kind of music do you listen to? All kinds of electronic, dance music, dubstep, trance, house, techno, etc., etc. Drum and bass. But I also grew up on metal because my dad listens to it. So yeah, I like all kinds of shit. Anything but country. Let's put it that way. I cannot stand country music. Oh, that was the next part of your question. What do you dislike the most? Country music. I can't stand it. And last but not least, what do you think of Stitch's buttocks? I think they are supple. How old am I? I am 25. I don't have any questions. I thought I might drop in and say hi. I love your videos. Keep it up. Thank you very much, sir. How would you feel if one day you woke up and your nipples are gone? Like no scars or anything, and then and then later that day you find out your dad had died yesterday. Well, this is looking grim so far. And that during your entire life so far, your dad had come into your room and as you slept and sucked on your chest to create 2 giant hickeys for nipples. Not anything sexual. He just did it so you would fit in. I would have a whole new respect for my dad's dedication to making me fit in, I suppose. And I would also be horribly depressed that a family member died. So it would be an overwhelming amount of emotions. On a more serious note, what do you think of garrisons in Warlords of Draenor, assuming you're playing it? I think they are cool. I'm definitely interested in the new WoW expansion. I don't know if I'll do any videos on it. I've always played World of Warcraft expansions, like every single one. I've always gone back and just spent at least a little bit of time jumping around. I think garrisons are going to be pretty cool. Do I think it's going to be enough to make me want to stay? I don't know. I also think having your NPCs going out and doing like mining and shit for you could potentially hurt the economy a little bit. But I don't know. What's your favorite game that you played so far? Kind of answered that. Favorite game in the last few years would definitely have to be Dark Souls, if that helps. I guess I probably should have added Dark Souls to the other list as well. I was kind of going for the more nostalgic shit for some reason. Can you tell us a story about your personal life? Just small things like where you are from and your family and stuff. Maybe things you like to do in your spare time when you aren't YouTubing. I've always lived in Florida. When I leave the house, which is not very often, I like to go to theme parks, specifically Universal Studios. It's amazing. And you know, I live relatively close. I live in Central Florida, so it's easy to get out there, have a fun day, and then come back home. When I was growing up, my parents always had annual passes to somewhere, and it was usually Universal. We had passes to SeaWorld for a while. When I was a lot younger, we had passes to Disney, annual passes, so we would just go whenever we felt like it. When I was a teenager, like 13, 14 or so, we would go to Universal all the time, go to Islands of Adventure, and in the Marvel area, and in the Marvel Heroes area, there was an arcade with Crazy Taxi in it, and I was the number 1, 2, and 4 record holder, like, on the leaderboard for Crazy Taxi, and I could not get that 3rd spot to save my fucking life. And it made me really upset. And they also had the best fighting game of all time, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, in there. And literally, whenever we went to Universal, I would spend a good hour just in that arcade, just enjoying it. I miss arcades. Arcades need to make a comeback. So there you go, that was a personal enough story, I feel like. If you could be best friends with any Dark Souls NPC, who would it be? Do bosses count? Who's that boss at the bottom of the abyss? Who's that one spreading darkness everywhere? Manus? Manus. I'd probably be best friends with Manus. Because, you know, if shit hits the fan, Manus is the guy who's going to get your back. And literally only one person in history ever fucked with Manus. So I feel like your odds are pretty good for Manus being there when you need him. And Manus is going to live longer than you. So, you know, you would die and be totally protected by Manus. I feel like everyone expected me to say Big Hat Logan, but I'm going to go with Manus. I hope that's his name. I haven't played that game in so long. Wouldn't mind hearing your take on a few social or political issues. Marijuana, legalize it, it's fine. Gay marriage, I don't give a shit what other people do. Specifically, I don't give a shit on who people sleep with. If they want to get married and be miserable like the rest of the married people, then by all means, go get married like the rest of the people. Views on different religious and political sects, don't care. Stuff like that. I always enjoy the intellectual discussion that comes from it, though. I try to keep it from becoming overly emotionally charged. Yeah, I'm not going to be overly emotionally charged at all. So, to review, marijuana has some good medical benefits if taken for medical purposes, so I think it's fine. Gay marriage, don't give a shit. Religious and political views, don't give a shit. Also, the obligatory sexual question. How musky do you get, Mr. Manly Man? I don't even know how to reply to that. Because I can't smell things. Musk is a smell. I don't do that whole smelling thing. Where did the hardcore witch doctor playthrough go? So what happened with that? I didn't want to end it. It wasn't getting very many views, but it is on the other side of the spectrum where I was really enjoying playing it. But I was constantly uploading videos while that was going on, and the latency really scared me. because it's a hardcore character. And I was also, it was also the time of the year where storms were very, very prevalent, and my power was going out on a daily basis almost, you know, flickering off and on. And I did not want to be in a situation where I lost my character because of a power outage. So the Witch Doctor was put on hold, and then I thought, oh, the console version's coming out. Let's just go ahead, excuse me, let's just go ahead and start it up on the console version. And I leveled my Witch Doctor up to where my other Witch Doctor was. It's at the beginning of Act 2, ready to go. And then fucking my capture card had sync issues. So it just seems like it's riddled with problems. So what I'm going to do, I decided on this yesterday actually. What I'm going to do is I have a 24-hour live stream coming up for charity in October. What I'm going to do is we're going to start that character up, and I'm going to level that motherfucker all the way to the end of the game. And hopefully we can do it as a challenge, and if I reach the end of the game with that Witch Doctor, you guys will donate to help the charity out. That's my plan. We're going to try that. Hopefully it goes well. I would hate to die in front of everyone, but I don't have the dates in front of me, but as the 24-hour live stream gets closer, I will be announcing it more and more often. It's in October. It's towards the end of October. So look forward to that. I didn't want to end the series. I still don't want to end the series, and we're going to continue that on the live stream. Hey Pally, my question would be: are you planning a themed co-op playthrough with Ryokan? Yes. Am I getting a PS4 for Bloodborne? No, but I have a PS4 and I will play Bloodborne. I didn't get it for Bloodborne. Which Souls game do you like better? Demon Souls, Dark Souls, or Dark Souls 2? Dark Souls, because it was the first one I played and like really got into. Alright, I'm gonna go get my tea. I'll be right back. Okay, I have green tea and a Gandalf the Grey cup. Be jealous. I started this thing right before I started recording. Oh, and it's hot as fuck still. Okay. I was trying to let it cool off. Apparently I didn't wait long enough. Okay. Hey Pallytime, I love your videos. Thanks for doing what you are doing. What happened to your sense of smell? I have sinus disease and had several sinus infections a year. My worst year was 15 sinus infections. And I also had several sinus surgeries, so inevitably that led to the loss of my smell, or at least the majority of my smell. Every now and then it comes back, but it's very, very, very weak, and I don't really understand it. What do you hope to achieve one day? Death. I don't want that to sound dark, but I hope one day that I die, and that I can be remembered by other people. Like, I'm not saying... That sounds really bad. I want to be remembered when I die. That's what I want to achieve. I don't know what I want to be remembered for, but I want to be remembered. Specifically, when Robin Williams died, it was so out of the blue and came out of nowhere that I was legitimately sad. But I know his entire family can look back on his death and look anywhere and see that he was loved by the entire world. By the entire world. And I kind of hope to achieve that. You know? I think it'd be nice. I think it would make my loved ones feel better when I pass away. If they at least have the security of knowing that I was deeply cared about all over. I think that would be nice. And what do you think would be my major in college? I've decided if this whole YouTube thing goes bottoms up and I suddenly can't pay my bills with it anymore or whatever, I would go back to college for something in the IT field. I've always liked computers. I've always liked working on computers. I like, excuse me, learning everything I can about computers. And you know, I don't specifically know what my major would be, but I know I definitely want it to be in the computer field. I don't want to do design. I don't want to get into coding. I don't want to do anything like that. I want to work on computer hardware, like fixing it, that kind of stuff. I think it'd be really cool. Hey, Pally, are you a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger or a Ninja Turtle? Both? I used to watch both of those so much as a kid. Oh, fuck me, that's hot. Oh, hot green tea. First, thank you for doing what you do. I subscribed because of your excellent playthrough of The Walking Dead Season 1 on TGN, in which you showed real compassion and empathy towards those fictional characters, as did I during my own playthrough. Second, what happened to The Walking Dead Season 2 Episode 4? Did I miss it? Are you planning on recording blah blah blah? Are you planning on recording Episode 5 when it finally arrives? Oh, excuse me. Did I miss it, or are you going to record that episode later when Episode 5 finally arrives? So yeah, that's my basic plan when any Telltale game comes out. I'm going to play, because they always come in 5 episodes. I'm going to play up to Episode 3, and then wait for the 5th one to come out, and then marathon it and get those videos up as soon as possible. The reason for that is Telltale is notorious for leaving you on the biggest fucking cliffhanger possible at the end of Episode 4. And I don't want to do that. I want to see all of it. So that's my plan. That's my plan. You've given me 2 years of excellent entertainment, and I hope more years will follow. Well, thank you, sir. That is very nice. Sir or ma'am. Hello, Pally. I've watched all of your Heroes of the Storms videos, and I eagerly await any new ones. I was wondering what the business was with the team you were in. I never watched any of the TGN videos you posted, and I was just curious. I'm not sure what you mean, what the business was with the team. If you're referring to me retiring from the team, that was just a joke. Because I got sick and couldn't make it to a few episodes, so they just said I retired. And then I made Pallytime and Friends, because people were getting really upset in the comments that I wasn't in them, and I was like, yeah guys, I totally retired, look at this, it's Pallytime and Friends. But, you know, that was just a gag. No big deal. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but that's the first thing that came to mind. Are you going to do a co-op playthrough with Rukon? Yes, I don't know when though. Will you do the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge? Well, there's no video proof that you've challenged me. And I feel like that ship has sailed. And I'm not affected by cold things. I grew up in a freezer. So, I'm not seeing it. Not seeing it. Yo, Pally, do you plan to do a playthrough of the Dark Souls 2 DLC? Of course. When Hero gets there, we are going to play through Dark Souls 2 in its entirety. Have you considered making a frequently asked question viewable only doc? You could update it whenever a new question was frequently a new queue that is FA'd. I like how you did that. I liked that a lot. A new question that is frequently asked. And you could add it to the description and maybe preface it with an introduction about what you think new subscribers should be aware of. That's a decent idea. Will I do it? Probably not, because I'm lazy. But it is a good idea. Maybe if it becomes a thing that I absolutely feel is necessary, we could do that. I try to keep my series up to date. If you go to my About, if you go to my channel and go to the About tab, I try to keep my series up to date and my rough schedule for when I'm posting them. But that's all I've really ever done. I enjoy your mostly positive outlook on gaming, especially in Heroes of the Storm, as it seems that many gamers live in a zero-sum skill world. You have to be either better or worse for someone and your skill level. Oh my god, you are using big words. Meritocratically. That's what I'm going with. Meritocratically. Damn, son. Your vocabulary. I'm dyslexic too. I'm having a hard time. You know, that's what I love about these question and answer videos. Just halfway through it turns into a fucking train wreck. Your skill level determines your value in the community. Please keep modeling positive teamwork, even with randoms. I'm sure that it is a good influence on many gamers. I like to think I'm a good influence on many gamers too. Would you rather have A nipple-sized dick or a dick-sized nipples? Okay, that's one question. Dick-sized nipples. Is it a flaccid dick-sized nipple? Because depending on the person, those could be like just normal nipples. There are two chairs. One has cake and the other has a dildo. You have to eat one and sit on the other. Well, you eat the cake and you sit on the dildo. Because no one said the dildo was sitting straight up. You could just have that thing flat. And then it's no big deal. And I could be wearing pants. Problem solved. There'd be no penetration. Yep. So that's free cake and an uncomfortable sit for about 2 seconds until I stand back up. I mean, that's simple. Yeah, that's easy. If you could have one item from any game that you got back If you could have one item from any game that you got back 1 week after use, every time you used it, what would it be? I don't understand that as it went on. But if I could have one item from a video game, it would definitely be the portal gun. I think that would be amazing. I'd probably throw up and break my legs, though, if we're all totally honest. So maybe the gravity gun would be better. I don't know. Portal gun. We're going with portal gun. Which are your current top 5 favorite heroes and Heroes of the Storm? And is Juke City a real place? This is where I read that comment. I keep saying this all the time. Like, whenever I do a Juke in HOTS now, I say, is Juke City a real place? You, sir, made me happy. Or ma'am. Top 5 heroes. If you want to win, if your only purpose in life is winning games, I would say top 5 heroes to make that happen. Stitches. I'm trying to think. Brightwing just got nerfed, or I would say Brightwing. Stitches, Uther. Fuck it, put Brightwing on there. Vala. And normally I would say Sergeant Hammer, but she just got nerfed. So let's go with... Oh, this is hard. I don't want to give you bad advice. Stitches, Vala, Uther, Brightwing, Jim Raynor. Why not? He's easy. You can play him. He does a little bit of everything. And I think he just got buffed unintentionally. What is your all-time favorite video on YouTube? I can actually answer this. Hold on. It is a Team Fortress 2 video called Ignis Solus HD. IGNIS space SOLUS space HD. I love that video. I love that video so fucking much. Like, I wish I would make shit like that. It's not like a ha 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 look at that kind of video, but it has its funny moments. It tells a story without saying a damn thing, and it makes me sad at the end. So that's everything a good video needs. Oh, the tea's the perfect temperature now. Oh, that's the best feeling. It's the best feeling. By the way, stay beautiful, Pally. Thank you. I'm doing my best. Who's the girl in your vacation pictures? Motherfucking girlfriend time. Hey, Pally, is that girl you took pictures with your girlfriend? Yes, that's why we call her motherfucking girlfriend time. What's her name? Motherfucking girlfriend time. And if you could, I want to see your dogs. I've showed them in a video before. A day in the life of Pallytime. You can see it there. What's your motivation for keep making videos? What's your motivation to keep making videos? It's fun and I enjoy it and I feel like I'm good at it and I get to make a pretty decent living doing it. And I've gotten a ton of message from the community where they're like, you know what, you are what makes my day, you know? And that makes me feel good. It makes me want to keep going. Makes me want to keep doing what I'm doing. I mean, I probably put 12 hours minimum into work every single fucking day. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Have you ever heard of the game Dishonored? Ever thought of recording it? Ever thought of... Well, yes, First of all, yes, I've heard of it. Ever thought of recording it? It's on my channel already if you want to search for Dishonored. But have I ever thought about recording it without saving or retrying your mistakes? No, I sure haven't. Even though I did enjoy the game, I don't want to play it again. I don't really know why. Why do you constantly switch games on Steam? I'll get a pop-up that says you're playing one game and then another few minutes later saying you're playing another game. I don't know. Why not? Have you seen how many games I have on Steam? I have to divide my time up equally. Hey, Bally, I have 2 questions for you. You spelled 4 wrong. Are you ready? Okay, so back in the day, on your first day of recording, how did it feel to get your first view and sub? I don't know. Good. Well, my first views and subscribers were just friends who I was like, here, watch this. You have to. So, I don't know. I honestly don't know how it felt. I don't remember. How'd you lose your sense of smell? I kind of already answered that. Sinus disease, lots of sinus infections, and way too many surgeries. If it's too personal, then how about if you could go into any game, what would you take with you? Your weapon, chairperson, etc. Some of you guys need to learn how to punctuate things. This is confusing. If I could go into any game, what would I take with me? Like leaving the game or going into the game? I feel like every game could be made easier with like C4. Like an unlimited supply of C4. But if I had to take something out with me, I would take the portal gun, because it's the best thing. Hope you get my question. Have a fine day, good sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Pelly, I heard in one of your Dark Souls videos when you were pissed to the point of ripping your nuts off that you cooled down by lifting and some other things. Are you buff? No, my body fat content is way too high. But I do have a fair amount of muscles. I am relatively strong. What's the first game you ever played? The first game I ever owned, like was mine, was given to me by my uncle, and it was the original Sonic game. But I played Sonic 2 before that. I played some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting game before that. But they were on the Sega Genesis, basically. Were the first games I played. The early Sega Genesis titles. Hey, Pally, would you ever consider changing your name to Sir Capillator of Matriarchs? Oh. No. No, that continues to go on. I'm not even going to stumble through that. No, I wouldn't consider changing my name to that, sir. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to try. Sir Capulator of Matriarchs, Hour of the Paladin, the Third Esquire, Master of all things which is holy, Slayer of unholiness of the world, and Lover of cute things. No, would not change my name to that. Would you play StarCraft 2? Because we all see that you like Heroes of the Storm, and I thought you might like the rest of Blizzard's games. I did. I don't know if they're still on my channel or not. But I used to have some StarCraft videos. They might be unlisted now, I'm not sure. But I used to do guides for how to beat the original game on brutal difficulty. And then I think no, I didn't. I think I started to do guides for Heart of the Swarm, but then no one watched them or something. I don't remember. It's a long time ago. Oh, the perfect tea temperature. It's perfect. It's just hot enough that it doesn't hurt, but you can feel the warmth go all the way down into your belly. That is the perfect tea temperature. Why no play more Warframe? Why you no play more Warframe? Because I got bored. Basically, that's pretty much it. I mean, I was the #1 Warframe live stream in the world for the longest time. But I feel like I played that game so much that there was nothing left to do. And I know they're constantly adding things, and I know there are some Pally Bros that still play a lot of Warframe. I just got burnt out, and my friends got burnt out, so there was no incentive to come back to it. Boobs or butts? Excuse me, both. Why not? Can I possibly do a playthrough of Divinity Original Sin? I am playing it on my own right now. I don't think it's something I want to do a playthrough of, simply because there's no voiceovers and I would have to stumble through all of that reading all the time. I don't think it would go very well. Also, it's a very long game and it's not very action-packed at all. So I don't think it would fit with my style personally. But I do enjoy the game. I have been playing it. Not very heavily or anything, but it's fun. I like the game. Pally, all I want to know is if you're okay. And also, what does Pally mean? So, you want to know two things, sir. Two things. I'm okay. And it means Paladin. Duh. I don't know why I said duh. I wasn't trying to insult you. But it means Paladin. Can you do an Artorias and Carrion? I never know how to say her name. New Game Plus co-op build in Dark Souls. No, probably not. I don't want to. I did a live stream with Artorias, but it was just on New Game Plus. I mean, it was okay. It was alright. Can you do the Stanley Parable playthrough? Well, I have actually streamed Stanley Parable every year for that charity live stream. The first, well, I guess I didn't do it every year. Maybe we did. Maybe I went back and did it. But the first time I played the mod, then the standalone came out, and we played a shit ton of it on that live stream. It was actually pretty cool because we were getting input from everyone on what to do and how to approach each ending. I really enjoy that game. Stanley Parable is excellent. If you guys are on Steam and you haven't played the Stanley Parable yet, I highly recommend that you check it out. Highly, highly, highly. Hey Pally, I've been a subscriber for quite some time, about 7 months I believe, and I was wondering, could you share a story about your sinusitis? I think I answered that before in the other video. Maybe I didn't. So, okay, 13 years old. I'm going to give you the short version just in case I didn't already answer that. I don't remember if I did. 13 years old, started getting headaches. Went to a bunch of doctors. Some of them said I was faking it and I just needed to go outside and exercise more, or that I was getting bullied. I definitely told this story. I remember getting upset about that again. Go to a sinus specialist, have 2 surgeries, get shots in my nose for steroid injections, which was a terrible experience. Find out that that doctor cannot cure me, sends me to another specialist who completely turned me around and made me feel better through 3 more surgeries. And then I had a complication with the last surgery. My skull base was cut a little bit too short, and I had a brain fluid leak. Because of it, had to go back, have a brain surgery done to repair all of that. What is the meaning of life? Having a good time. That is the meaning of life. Enjoying yourself. Who was the first champion you played in Heroes of the Storm? I don't fucking know. I have no idea. Jim Raynor, because he's in the tutorial. Was it a trick question? Jim Raynor. He was in the tutorial. That was the first hero I played. Do you plan on starting up League of Legends again? Nope. What would you be doing as a living if this channel hadn't succeeded? I'd be going to school for some IT style position. Would you play Dark Souls if every boss was a demon with a large penis like in Berserk? I don't know if the game was fun still. Do I have a wife? Lol. Why was that funny? No, I don't have a wife. What's your perfect Sunday? Sleeping in until 1:30 like I did today. Without wanting to sound like a pushy teenager, what happened to the modded Skyrim playthrough? And will there be any more episodes when you have a little bit more time on your hands? So I tried to make this as clear as possible. I've mentioned this a while now. I try to make things as clear as possible, but then obviously there's people that don't see messages and are like, why did this stop? Basically, my Skyrim was broke as fuck. Same thing happened to Fallout 3. Same thing was happening to New Vegas, which is why I pushed through the game so quick at the end. Some people are still fucking mad about that. But if I wanted to continue my Skyrim playthrough, I'd have to start from the beginning and go to the end. I'd have to start from the beginning, do everything I already did to get back up to that point, and I just don't want to fucking do that. It sounds terrible. Basically, one of the mods broke Lydia, who I was gonna have as my follower and make her my Skyrim wife. And then when she was broken, it just made me sad. And I was also having trouble with frame rates going all over the place in that game for some reason. It was totally inconsistent. So yeah, it just went downhill very quickly. What's my real name? Walter! This may be too personal, that's fine if you don't want to answer it. That being said, I was wondering what you had your brain surgery for. I just kind of explained that. There was a brain fluid leak and they had to fix it. That sounds serious, I can't, blah, 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 blah. Sorry if it offends you. Love your channel, keep up the great work. Thank you, sir. No, it doesn't offend me at all. I don't know why that, but... Do you love me? Sure, in a platonic way. I was wondering what town of Florida you live in. You live in Gainesville, and I'm always happy to see Floridians on YouTube. I'm going to keep that to myself. But I live in the Central Florida area, so the part in between North and South. Do you have any pets? Are there any pets you want to have? I have 4 dogs in this house. 2 are outside, 2 are inside. I have another dog that lives with my mother over in Missouri. And I get to visit him a couple times a year. And any pets I want to have, dude, I would love to have a fucking... So I like the idea of having a ferret, but the implementation of having a ferret I think would be very frustrating. Because apparently they are... they like to nibble on your toes. But the idea of picking a ferret up and just bending him all over the place seems really fun to me for some reason. Why you know Pudge? Because I hate Dota 2. Them god hands have never touched on camera the original Hook'em. Yeah, actually they have, over on TGN. But I cannot stand Dota 2. The character movement in that game makes me so sad. Hey Pallytime, why don't you put some StarCraft videos on your channel? I've heard you say that you used to play it, but you can't find any videos on the channel. If you can't find any, they're probably unlisted. But they used to be there. How big is your butt? It is the flattest thing in the known universe. And will you buy a PS4 for a Bloodborne playthrough? Well, I have a PS4, but it wasn't specifically for Bloodborne. Do you ever think that you would ever defeat your personal plateaus? I realize how you ever fight... Whoa, hold on. I realize how you let fight or flight and ADD skimp around so many challenges you face. It's not fun to smack one of these walls, but it's very liberating once you break through. There are a few I've seen you do, but in those very moments but it's those very moments that are worth it. That was very deep, and I read it horribly. I've broken through many plateaus. The biggest one was driving for me. When I was in school, I dropped out because of surgeries when I was in high school. I dropped out because I was having so many surgeries and just felt like shit all the time. Later went back and got my diploma, but because I left the school system, I couldn't get my license until I was 18. Then my parents got in a very bad car accident when I was 18. It totally turned me off to the idea. I would get a lot of anxiety when I even thought about driving anywhere. But recently went out, bought my first car, been driving around, and I'm getting pretty comfortable. So that was definitely the biggest plateau I have broken through in the last few years. What's my real name and real life job? You don't think YouTube's a real life job? Sir, you are horribly mistaken. Sorry for asking so many questions, but if you could have any Dark Souls ring for real life, which ring would you choose? I would go with the Ninja Flip ring. Because that's funny to me. Oh, better yet, give me that ring that lets me walk on fire. That would be fun. Just jumping into volcanoes and shit, that would be cool. Hey man, love your videos. You seem to make really good decisions most of the time while playing in Heroes of the Storm. Were you previously a competitive StarCraft, Dota, or LoL player? No, I played Halo 3 competitively. I played a shit ton of League of Legends, but never gave a shit about rank or anything like that. Just a couple of simple questions. Pancakes or waffles? Waffles. Have you ever been to Europe? I have not, unfortunately. How did you lose your virginity? By having sex. What keeps you motivated to keep producing content, as I know you always are working extremely hard? I kind of already discussed that. The feedback from the community really helps. The fact that I know I help a lot of people through hard times helps. I really enjoy what I do. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy what I do. So all of that stuff really helps out. But also for TGN, well, I get paid for that, which is good. TGN is my job. Have you ever been recognized as real life as MFPT? Someone said they saw me at Disney, but I don't believe them because they could have walked up to me and been like, hey, it's all you, Disney, you know? And they didn't, so I don't believe them. If not, it's about time that someone recognizes that voice. Well, I don't talk really loud when I'm out in the open, so I don't think people would pick up on my voice that easily. How difficult is it for you to decide whether or not to bring a new content to the channel? Well, lately I've been bringing content and being like, hey, do you guys want to see more of this? And then doing more if they like it. Usually it's what I'm excited about I bring to my channel. So it's not very difficult to do that. If time permitted it, would you be interested in doing more co-op runs through games with other YouTubers in the future? Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time to read my questions, and hopefully none of these have been asked before. Do you have any plans on participating in Blizzard Cast or something like that? No plans, but I would love to, like, cast a game at BlizzCon or something. That would be fucking amazing. I don't have so much of a question as I do a comment. I am a child of the internet. It's raised me and contributed largely to whom I am today. I've been around since YouTube's inception, and I generally greatly dislike people who produce content like you. It's not people themselves, but I just can't get into watching someone else play games on channels like this. However, that is not true for you. I eagerly await every single video you do, and you've also inspired me to just be nicer, a more gentle person when it comes to online games. You're a great guy, and I appreciate your hard work you put into all things you do. Thank you for being a boss. Continue bossing it up, boss man. But thank you. That was very nice. It's very nice. Hello, MFPT. My question is, when did you start working out, and do you judge in age? Don't know what you mean by the judging part. But when I started working out, about a year ago, I think. We'll go with that. I don't know how much accurate it is. How much money have you spent Heroes of the Storm? Less than $350 because they're allowing me to spend more money. Pally, exactly how many potatoes have you eaten in the past? Fuck you. I have no idea. I don't eat that many carbs, but how many potatoes have I eaten in the past 6 years? Probably around 1,000. What's up with the chicken in the top hat? What's up with you not having a chicken in a top hat? Really enjoying your content. Hope to see more of it in the future. A lot more. Haha. Most of your questions have been asked, so I'm just saying thanks. Well, thank you. If Hero enters Dark Souls 2 with a katana, are you going to use because you... If Hero enters Dark Souls 2, which katana are you going to use because you get katanas a little late? I have not decided yet. We'll figure it out when we get there. PallyTime, we all know you're an awesome, challenge-accepting sort of guy, and the horror sort of games fall under challenges if they are creepy enough anyway. My question is, would you consider doing a playthrough of that new Silent Hill game? Because we all heard happy, sad, excited, and raging PallyTime, but never scared. I did a playthrough of the original Dead Space, if you want to see what I sound like when I'm scared. What encouraged you to make a YouTube account? I already kind of talked about that, just sharing my experiences. Pally, I added you on Battle.net. Can we be BFFs and circle around in pink ponies of doom while our own army of Murkies float around, bringing havoc to all of those who would try to destroy our ring of friendship? The two, while we watch Lord of the Rings together. No, I don't think I've ever been that close with anyone in my life. Oh, and then he replied, no, well, sad. Must be because I'm Brazilian and everyone hates Brazilians. I've noticed that lately. I don't hate Brazilians, though. Oh, gee. I told you I'd be back. Anyway, here's my next question. How do you commentate so well? Practice. I mean, I shut my eyes and I understand what's going on, and I don't even notice half the shit you talk about. When I talk like that, I stutter. Just practice, man. A lot of practice. Hi. Tell please, how do you set up Pillar of Light at Hot Hero that you play? Can't find such a setting. Even Blizzard support don't know how. Waiting for answer. Hold down the space bar. What is your favorite Hot Pocket / Lean Pocket? Philly cheesesteak? Dude, Philly cheesesteak. Try meatball and mozzarella or garlic chicken and white pizza. Dude, Philly cheesesteak's where it's at. Would you consider doing the Way of the Samurai series? I think it could be. I think it'd have a lot of room for entertainment and you can make it your own. No, I wasn't planning on it. What's the reason behind your name? Already answered that. How much was my mic? About $100. Would you play another horror game on your channel? Sure. If you could, which titles are you considering? How about something in Silent Hill game? Maybe. One question, then I'll shut up because I've asked way too many. Who is your worst enemy of all time in a video game? I don't know. No one's really standing out. Let's put it that way. No one's really standing out. Are you going to play more League of Legends? Probably not. I noticed a change in the Haas community since the game came out. People tend to swear and insult a lot more. Have you noticed this as well, and do you think it will continue in the future? There's always going to be hostility in MOBAs. You're taking 5 strangers, putting them in a game together, and forcing them to work together to beat another group of 5 strangers, or a pre-made. So yes, there's always going to be hostility in a MOBA. Doesn't matter which fucking game it is. There's always going to be people who get butthurt over the simplest things. Hi MFPT, would you be interested in doing an Elder Scrolls Let's Play of Oblivion? I started streaming it one time and then got way too busy and had to stop streaming. I love Oblivion, it's one of my favorite games. It may be something we consider doing a Let's Play for sometime next year when the gaming industry slows down a little bit. What's my real name? Walter, already answered that several times. What was your old channel? Is it still active? No. I'm not going to tell you what my old channel was. It's embarrassing. Although I'm sure there are people that know and are probably going to comment down in the comments with it. Is it still active? Absolutely not. And if you want to see how I've changed, just go back to my original videos on this channel and you can see that just fine. I've come a long way since I've started. And the final question of today's video, will you play League of Legends with me, please? Probably not. No interest in League anymore. Okay, so that was only... hide replies. That was 116 questions that we answered. And there's like 400 more to go. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, we'll knock out some more next weekend, I suppose. So fucking many to go through. You guys can clearly see why this is going to be the last one, because there's just so fucking many of them. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I know this isn't the style video for everyone, but I hope you found it a little bit insightful. I think my energy dipped down a little bit, like halfway through, like I predicted. I'll be back next week with some more questions that you guys asked, and I'll see you all next time.